I've run every day for nearly 5 years. Along the way, it's given me fitness, focus, and friendships. I've also learned a lot about myself over the past 5 years, and here are 5 rules that I apply to my life as a result of my running streak. The first life lesson is to live in day-tight compartments. We have a real tendency to overthink and worry about what's coming up next, and I know I certainly do. But running every day has helped me to really just focus in on the day I'm on. What happened yesterday is gone. What happens tomorrow, I don't need to worry about yet. Life is a science looking back, but it's a mystery looking forward. And so some days I'll go out for a run and everything will click. I'll feel light and fresh and feel like I can run forever. But then there'll be other days when nothing feels like it's working well and the whole run will be a struggle. But I know now to just get through each day. When it's good, be grateful for it. When it's not so good, try and learn from it. And as soon as you can, move on to the next day. Life lesson 2, choose your hard. Running every day is hard. Not running every day, losing my fitness and having to work extra hard to get it back again is harder. So I choose running every day. And the same applies to other areas of life. Eating a well-balanced diet can be hard. Not eating a well-balanced diet, getting overweight, feeling really lethargic and rubbish the next day is harder. So I choose the first hard option of just eating as well as I can, as often as I can. So with my running streak, I know it's not for everyone, and I'm not suggesting that everyone should do a running streak, but for me it's the better hard option. Life lesson number 3, I try and live each day by 3 key words: control, conquer, concentrate. In order to stay on top of my running streak, the majority of those runs are done first thing in the morning. That's the control part of my day. I control my mornings, so I make sure I can do those important things first. Conquer, that is then me, after my run is done, or any other exercise I need to do that morning, being able to focus on being dad, being husband, and doing my work. And that allows me to move on to number 3, which is concentrate. Now that I've controlled the morning, I've conquered the day, I can then concentrate on the evening and devote myself to the other parts of my life that are really important. 3 words: control, conquer, concentrate. Life lesson 4, stolen from the legend that is Mike Tyson. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Now, when I started my running journey, I was so focused on the tiny details of my training and my racing that I had race plans that would literally be written down to how many steps I should be taking every minute, what my breathing should be like, the exact minute I should be taking my nutrition. And that's all great until something goes wrong. So over the past 5 years, as I've become more experienced as a runner, more experience in my training, more experience in my racing, I've probably had as many setbacks and failures as I have had successes. But those failures, that's where you grow. That's where you learn, what do I do now? How do I respond to this? People often think that bad things come in threes, but they don't. One bad thing will often follow another bad thing because you haven't got the capacity or the resilience or the skill set to manage the first bad thing. So let's say you miss your nutrition stop in a marathon That's bad thing number one. You then start to question and doubt whether or not you can actually complete this marathon now that you've missed your nutrition. So your mind starts to have negative thoughts. That's bad thing number two. And because of those negative thoughts, your energy is taken away from your race plan and calmly assessing the situation, and you start to lose your pace, you start to lose your mindset, and your race begins to fall apart. That's bad thing number three. Now, as runners, we know these things happen, but if we go back to that first bad thing, losing that first gel, it's how we respond to that that dictates what happens after. Life lesson 5. The first step is always the hardest. Now, when you see people posting their runs on YouTube or Strava, it might always seem positive and uplifting, but believe me, that is not always the way it is. Sometimes getting out the door is a real challenge. It's like a procrastination rain dance. 99.9% of the time, this is not physical, it's mental or environmental. So let me give you a practical example of how this works for me. My morning routine is pretty much always the same. I wake up, I carve a path from the bedroom to the coffee machine, from the coffee machine to the sofa. The problem is, I'm still in night mode by the time I sit back down on the sofa again. So what I do now is I put my running clothes by the coffee machine. While the coffee is being made or the kettle's being boiled, I'll get changed into my running gear. That is enough of an environmental change and a mental cue to snap me out of the slumber that I'm in and take me away from night mode and put me in day mode. That is the first step. Not literally getting out the door, not literally pressing start on your watch and taking that first running step, but getting into the clothes. And if you can just do that first little step, whether it's just putting the shoes on, putting the clothes on, the rest of it then is so much easier to follow. So there we go, guys. Running every day for nearly 5 years. It's given me so much joy and happiness. And if you're clicking on this video, that's probably because running does something positive for you too. And hopefully some of those transferable life lessons, the things that we learn about ourselves when we push our bodies out on the trails, out on the roads, in our training and in our races, they can apply to other parts of our life as well, and they can improve so many other aspects of our day-to-day lived experiences. Hopefully this is of some value to you. If it is, leave a comment below. You can follow me on Strava, all of the details are in my bio. Like, subscribe, all of that sort of stuff, and I'll hopefully see you in another video very soon.